All right, thanks everyone for joining today's session of 20 Minutes in 2020. And I just wanted to talk a little bit before we actually get started with our main programming about a little bit about what I've been observing. And I've noticed online, like now there's just been a flood of mindfulness activities online. So I was like, oh, okay, we started a little bit early. But I was also thinking, since we've been doing this for a few weeks now, it's also a good time to kind of touch base and make sure, like, to have an understanding of why we're doing what we're doing. And sometimes, even though I've been meditating for a while now, I need that reminder to myself, especially in these times where it's so charged. There's just so much going on. So what's happening in Colorado, for example, is that we still have the stay-at-home order, but business places have started to open up. So there's this gradual opening up. And even that, I realized when I was looking at it on the news, was creating a certain amount of anxiety, because prior to that, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm safe in my house. I'm in quarantine. It's okay. And now that it's like, okay, now I have this other variable to take into my decision making. Should I go and get my hair cut because I'm looking all scruffy? And I can go and do that. And so I just kind of wanted to talk about one of the practices that we've been working on, and that's clear mind, don't know. And this particular practice is, to kind of help us just have things settle. So there are two different analogies that you can use to talk about that are pretty common to talk about what's happening in meditation. So if you think about, you go to a river and you take up some water in a bottle, and that bottle and water, the water has sediment. If you shake it up, it takes a while for the sediment to settle. And that's kind of what we're doing in meditation, right? We're just focusing on our object of meditation, which is our breath, and we're just there hanging out, letting things settle. We're not actually concerned with, oh, I need to remove the sediment from my water. We're just sitting with whatever it is we're experiencing at the moment. And I just wanted to share a little reading here from this book. It's called The Great Heart Way. And this is from the introductory chapter on how to meditate. And as you know, I really love to read about beginner practices, because sometimes when we're meditating, we forget, like, why am I doing what I'm doing? So having that refresher is timely. And I think that this is a good moment. And I'm actually going to put a recording of this paragraph here online, because I realize sometimes, if for myself, I might forget to breathe, or I might forget to practice. But if I read it in the moment when I'm actually really triggered, it helps bring me back to center. So sometimes I might be so distracted, just focusing on my breath isn't enough. So I just wanted to share this strategy with you. If there's anything that you come across in your reading, or just, in everyday life, that really seems to help you, bring you back to center, bring you back to your breath, make a special place for that. Whether it's you put it in a special little box. I do strange things like that. I have boxes of pieces of paper, of things that resonate with me. And when I feel like, oh yeah, I don't feel so good, I whip out my little box and I do my little reading. And so this one is really simple. It's called Dealing with Thoughts in Meditation. And it goes like this. You may be wondering what's the best way to quiet the mind during meditation. It's not really a matter of quieting the mind per se. Rather, it's a matter of bringing our attention back to the breath whenever it has begun to move anywhere else. When the mind is active, just return your attention to breathing in and breathing out. I mean, that's so simple, but it sometimes I'm so astounded. The practice is so simple, but it's so easy to forget what you're doing. Okay, so we're just breathing in and breathing out. You don't have to worry about the thoughts. They will take care of themselves. Trying to push them away is just the flip side of grabbing onto thoughts. And I think that's a pretty powerful line there. Sometimes we just want to obliterate. Or like, oh no, I don't want to deal with this emotion, just get rid of it. But just to be aware of that. So trying to push them away is just the flip side of grabbing onto thoughts. Instead, Return your mind gently but firmly to counting your breath. If you have to do this over and over and over again, that's okay. The point is to learn how to live in each moment, to be totally absorbed in each moment, with no separation from that moment. So here we're just talking about, experiencing life as it is, whatever life has to offer us, whether in this moment it's like, oh boy, don't know what's happening. That's okay. There's a power in that don't know. And if we allow it to happen, and we don't necessarily have to become swept up in it and overwhelmed by it. Okay, little by little, by concentrating on your breath and focusing your attention, the body and mind will settle down. So I'm going to include this on our playlist, and I'll call it quick quotes, if you need a little pick me up. So you can always listen to that. I'm actually okay, so get yourself into a comfortable seated position, whether that's on the floor, on your couch, in a chair. It doesn't matter where you are. You can practice wherever you are. And that's actually the most powerful part of our practice. Feel your feet supporting you. Feel where you make contact with your seat. And we're going to just start off by having a body scan in terms of what's happening with your body and your position. Your spine is upright, but even though you're maintaining an upright posture, you can still feel that slight curvature in your back or in your spine. Eyes can be opened or closed, whatever works best for you. And then in terms of your arms, just roll your shoulders back, opening up your chest area a little bit, do a few shoulder rolls. And then you can place your hands either in your lap or on your knees, wherever feels good for you today. Feel your connection with the earth. Feel the weight of your body in your chair or on your seat. And we're just going to check in to see how we're feeling today. So scanning from the bottom, from your feet upwards. Just notice how the body feels. And if you notice any points where you might be feeling tension or pain, pause there for a moment and visualize yourself breathing in and out of that space, wherever you may have discomfort. And as you breathe in and out of that space, you're inviting new energy into that space. And with your exhalation, you're getting rid of anything that no longer serves you. Okay, so now we're gonna turn a little more inward and just be aware. Feel how your body is breathing. Can you feel the shape of your breath today? And let's just say a hello to our breath. We haven't done that before. Our breath sustains us. So just say hello and appreciate it. And our breath changes from moment to moment. So where do you feel your breath today? What shape has your breath taken today? Is it in your chest? Do you feel your breath in your chest? Do you feel it further down in the abdomen? Is it shallow? Is it deep? And whatever shape the breath has today, that's fine. That's where you are today. It doesn't need to have a particular shape. So we're going to start with a few rounds of one breath meditation, which is just taking one breath and appreciating that breath as a kind of mindfulness practice. So we're going to be really intentional about that one breath. So when you're ready, you can inhale and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. And as we do that, feel yourself becoming a little less tense. And feel yourself opening up to whatever it is you're experiencing. We can also do a slight variation of this where we roll the shoulders back, and kind of open up our chest area, and our gaze, we can move it upwards. And we're just opening ourselves to our one breath meditation. And in this posture of dignity, we inhale and exhale. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to move on to clear mind, don't know. So basically, we're just saying clear mind, clear mind, clear mind on our inhalation, and on our exhalation, it's don't know. And in that exhalation, we're slowing things down for ourselves. We're making the breath a little bit longer. Okay, so we can start with an inhalation. Clear mind, clear mind, clear mind. And on our exhalation, don't know. And again, clear mind, clear mind, clear mind. Don't know. And in this repeated clear mind, don't know sequence, clear mind, don't know can return us to a place of stability, a place of calm, a place of acceptance that it's okay if we don't know. And not knowing actually opens us up in different ways beyond just, what we do cognitively, all that left brain activity. So continue working with clear mind, don't know, or you can just allow that to dissolve into focusing on your breath. And I'll just leave you to play with that right now in this time. Okay, so we're coming to the end of our sitting period. So just take a moment before we start thinking of rushing back to our day. Take a little time, a few seconds, to really appreciate this time that you've set aside for yourself and for your self-care. Just savor it. Just savor the last few breaths. You can go ahead and start wiggling your toes and your fingers. Open your eyes. And then in terms of what's happening with your face, just let the corners of your mouth turn upward ever so slightly. And see if that makes things feel different anyhow inside, just by just giving this really small smile. It doesn't have to be all teeth, but it can be. Okay. And that however you feel now, is it different to when you first started 20 minutes ago? And let's just take some of that essence from your practice into the rest of your day moving forward. Before we close off, let's just take a minute to dedicate our merit. In any way you wish, you can dedicate your merit to those in your immediate circle or expand it outwards. I'd like to dedicate some of the merit from this practice to the people who wanted to come to this session but were unable to make it, just so that we continue holding space for everyone in our community. All right. Thank you everyone for your practice. I know we went over by a few minutes, but hopefully you should be okay to make it to that next meeting at the top of the hour. I'm going to be adding those quick quotes. I'm going to figure out how I'm going to integrate that, but that's really something just like a personal thing of mine that I'd like to do for myself, using this, quarantine time wisely, to just record little things, little quotes that resonate with me, so I can always go back to them. And I'd like to share that with you guys if that's useful. All right, so it was great having everyone on the call, and I'll see you on Thursday. And if I'm here to hang out if you guys want to chat or catch up or anything, but if you gotta hop and do what you gotta do. All right, bye everyone.